Since 2019, Mikel Arteta has done an incredible job making Arsenal a force to be reckoned with again. But despite this, they're still not back in the glory days, as they fell short to Man City 2 years running for the Premier League title. Not to mention they're now winless in 5 games, sitting 4th in the Premier League and 12th in the UCL League phase. So I think it's time a real manager steps in. And that's exactly what I'm going to do for the next 10 seasons, with the mission of winning as many trophies as possible, creating an unstoppable force with Arsenal, and ultimately making them Europe's most dominant club. And of course, the wheel is going to be there every season to make my life either way easy with the Gunners or basically impossible. So here we go, season 1 of 10 with the Gunners, and this is the team that we've loaded into, and we've straight away got to sort the formation out, man. Half the team's out of position. But as much as I hate to admit it, Arsenal have some serious talent like Declan Rice, William Saliba, Bukayo Saka, and of course Martin Odegaard. I mean, there's only 3 players who are 30 years old or above in the team, man. We don't have to worry about the age situation for a long time. I mean, we do have a couple players on loan to us, one of them being Raheem Sterling, but I'm pretty certain I'm going to send him straight back to Chelsea anyway. And the good news keeps coming. We've got 107 million to spend in season 1 of this takeover. And as you can see from the leaderboard, Tottenham Hotspur are somehow the team to beat with 18 trophies to their name. The question is, will this Arsenal team be able to top them on the leaderboard, or are they going to pull a Tottenham Hotspur and bottle it? Well, we are indeed about to find out, but first things first, like I said, we need to sort these tactics out. So I'm going for the 4-2-3-1 wide formation with a short passing build-up style and a very high line, but there's a good reason for this. Both Gabriel and Saliba are absolutely rapid for centre-backs, man, so it doesn't really matter if we get hit on the break. These pair will be able to keep up with the opposing team's attackers. And as you can see from our player instructions, we are playing very attacking with Arsenal. It's almost like a pyramid. Our wing-backs are going to be up and down the pitch, with our front 4 being really high up, with our 2 CDMs holding and being a playmaker as well. And after a little meddling around with the team, guys, this is by a country mile our strongest starting 11 that we can field in. Let's be completely real, guys. It is a disgusting team Arsenal have got. I'll be real, guys. If Arsenal don't top the leaderboard by the end of this takeover, I will be pretty surprised. Now it's just a question of what we're going to do with this 107 million, because as I've just said, we are stacked at the minute. Now, my first thought would be to replace Kai Havertz. Now, as a Chelsea fan, I have mixed feelings about this guy, but you Arsenal fans seem to really like him. So for you guys, I think I'm going to leave him alone for a bit to see what he can do. This probably won't be popular, but I am thinking about replacing Calafiori with a much stronger left back. I mean, to be fair, he is the weakest link in the team, and if we want to beat Spurs on that leaderboard, we'll probably have to do this at some point. Apart from that, I don't know where to put this money, guys, but then again, we are getting ahead of ourselves, aren't we? Because we haven't spun the wheel yet, and we all know just like that, this wheel could turn our season upside down. So with that being said, season number 1, what is going to be thrown our way? Okay, bad recruitment. Signed the 3 worst players in your league, and that's your lot. Oh, freaking fantastic. So after all that, it looks like Calafiori is getting a shot in the starting 11 anyway. Here comes the annoying bit though. We've got to go through every single player in the Premier League, find out who the 3 worst players are, and then unfortunately sign them. And unfortunately, I have found the 3 worst in the Premier League, guys. The first one is Leon Chouame, a 56 rated striker from Wolves. Then there's Amari Samuels, a 56 rated left back from Brighton. And there's a 20-year-old keeper called Alex Borto, who's 54 rated. I mean, how are you that bad in playing in the Premier League? Go out on loan somewhere, for God's sake. But that unfortunately isn't going to happen, as all 3 of these players have just signed for us on a combined total of 840,000. Well, there's no way they're staying at this club. I'm loaning them out alongside a couple of other players who I feel like will either get in the way of the team or they've got a bit of potential themselves. This does unfortunately mean we've got all this money to spend, but we're not able to spend it because the wheel's spoken. We've got a transfer ban now. But one thing I am doing is sorting some positions out. For example, Bukayo Saka right now is being converted to a right midfielder as we speak. And Martinelli's been converted to a left midfielder as well. It will take a fair while, but I just don't want them playing out of position. But unfortunately, for the time being, they will be, as this is the team heading into season 1 of this takeover. And I'll be completely real with you lot. We've got a genuine shot of winning the Premier League here. I mean, with the amount of talent we've already got in the team and how I've set them up tactically, I don't see many teams being able to stop Arsenal this season. And I've got to admit, these stats are looking promising. Saka got 39 goals in 17 assists in 63 games. That alone is insane. Jesus got 16 and 5, Martinelli 15 and 11, Odegaard with 19. Hang on a minute, why is Jesus playing over Havertz? I promise now, I had no idea he had a release clause. He's gone to Leverkusen for 76 million. I'm honestly gutted about that. I was kind of interested to see how we do this season. But even without Havertz, this is still a world-class setup, so hopefully that means we've won a couple of trophies. But it's not a good start, guys. We're second in the Premier League, a solid 10 points behind Man City. I really thought we were going to steamroll the Premier League this year, but I did forget Man City were a part of this league. No FA Cup either, as Chelsea knocked us out on pens in the semis. But we do win the Carabao Cup, beating Man City to do it. That's trophy number 1 already. And we're through to the knockouts in the Champions League after finishing 8th in the league phase. And that's where we smashed Leverkusen 4-2. We beat Liverpool in the quarters, but lose to City in the semi-finals. Oh, we were 1 game away from being the best in the world already. But at the very least, City didn't win the Champions League. Barcelona beat them 2-1 in the final. The wheel full-on shafted us, didn't it? If we were allowed to add some quality to this team as opposed to just buying the 3 worst players in the Premier League, we might have scraped the Premier League and the UCL. But looking at the leaderboard, it's a very positive start, guys. If we can keep this going and just add on to this form until the end of this takeover, we'll be clear of Tottenham Hotspur. The question is, though, will this team be able to do it, or will that takeover will prove too much to handle? Well, before we go any further and find out, if you're enjoying this Arsenal takeover so far, drop this vid a big old thumbs up and smash that subscribe button if you're new. So here we are, guys, season 2 with the Gunners, and because we didn't spend money last year, we've got a serious amount of money to spend this time, 335 mil to be exact. And there is a serious amount of stuff we can do with that money to proper improve this team as well. I mean, with Jesus being our striker, it might be a good idea to bring in someone better. Maybe bring Kai Havertz in or someone better than him. We also need a backup for David Raya, because as you can see from our keeper depth, we've literally only got one other in Carl Hein. I'm also considering another CDM to partner up with Declan Rice too. I know that we've got Mikel Merino, but he's 29 years old himself. We're going to get maximum 3 years out of him. Plus, he's playing out of position anyway, and he will not convert to a CDM. Like I've said, guys, we can do a lot with this kind of money, but only if the wheel lets us. So let's see what it's got in store for us in season number 2. Oh my god, another bad one. Are you joking? Bad exchange. Swap your best player for the bottle job's worst, and this will be your only signing. Oh my god, nah. This wheel is having a laugh. Arsenal fans, look away now. Bukayo Saka is going to be playing for Tottenham Hotspur for the foreseeable future, but I promise you I'm going to do my best in the future to get him back. But in return, I get their worst player, so who on earth is that going to be? You really can't write this. It's going to be a keeper called Josh Keeley, 58 overall, worth 340,000 at best. I'm not going to lie, guys, so far that wheel is doing us over. I mean, we're giving them Bukayo Saka, who's worth 117 million. That is actually a joke. And there we go, the deal's done, ladies and gents. Honestly, so far, we have been shafted and then some. We've had to sign 4 of the worst players in the freaking Premier League. And in return this time, we've had to give Spurs our best player. He just does not look right in a Spurs shirt, does he, man? That just looks wrong. The good news is, though, we're going to have all this money to carry over for the foreseeable future. And hopefully, if that wheel's on our side next year, we'll be able to use this to its full potential. But for now, there's nothing more we can do. So this is the team going into season 2. It's a little bit worse for wear because obviously Saka's not playing for us anymore, but it's still a world-class team. I mean, individually, a lot of these players have improved vastly from last year, so hopefully that will be enough to help these guys win a couple of trophies again. Guys, I can't get over this. We're second in the Premier League once again. At this point, I'm genuinely no better than Arteta. Why can I just never win the Premier League, man? It's the one thing I genuinely struggle to do in FC25. I apparently can't win the FA Cup either, as Preston North End knocked us out in round 4. And this time we don't win the Carabao Cup. Chelsea beat us 2-1 in the final, so they beat us to the Premier League and now the Carabao Cup. This season is a massive L so far. And we only made the quarters of the Champions League. Honestly, losing Saka was basically the end of season 2 for us. I mean, it's still not a bad team though. It's not even close to being bad. We just need that extra bit of quality, don't we? But crack Jesus stepped up, 39 goals and 9 assists in 58 games. That is outstanding. I mean, we do still need a striker because he's almost 30 years old, but for now at least, if we can't get one, he will defo do the job. But let's be honest for a second, guys, as good as this Arsenal team is right now, without that wheel being on our side next season, we're not going to win anything again. But you better believe one thing, if it is on our side and we're able to, I am bringing Bukayo Saka back, man. There's no way in hell I can let him rot at the bottle jobs. So let's see if we're going to be able to. Season 3, surely. Thank you. Finally a good one. Risk/reward. Spin a wheel with every Premier League team on its only side sign from whoever it lands on, though. Okay, that is a little bit 50-50. While we're spinning the wheel with every Premier League side on it, let's hope for a top 6 team. Okay, Man United. Let's see what kind of ballers they've got. I mean, we could literally sign whoever they've got. We've got over $500 million to spend. This is what happens when you can't spend money for 3 years in a row. But I've got to admit, it's disappointing. I'm going through the players that they've got. I mean, they've got good players, but none for the positions we really need. I mean, they have got Ugarte, to be fair, who could come good in that CDM role alongside Declan Rice. They do have Andre Onana too. I mean, we do need a second choice keeper. But apart from that, guys, it is so disappointing. I genuinely thought United would have looked better. Saying that though, Bukayo Saka is still a Tottenham Hotspur player and we can't do anything about that yet, so maybe we go for one of their attackers. I mean, we could go for Sancho. He's 26, 86 rated. But I'm thinking a little more to the future. I'm thinking Garnacho, only 22 and already 84 rated himself. His stats are already looking good, and with him being so young, he's still got so much more time to improve. And until we can bring Saka back to Arsenal, I think Garnacho will do a fine job on the right-hand side. And there we go, guys. Andre Onana, Manuel Ugarte, and Alejandro Garnacho have all just signed for Arsenal on a 5-year deal for the combined total of 149.7 million. But United have let us down, man. We still got 355 million to spend, but nobody to spend it on because the players they've got at that club aren't really spending it on. But at the very least, we have brought some talent into this team, man. Garnacho's a good addition on the right, and Ugarte is actually going to be a solid player in the middle of the park. But are these 3 former United players going to help Arsenal win some trophies, or are we going to stay in the exact same spot we were last season? Well, I'm happy to say we're starting well this year. We finally won the Premier League, man. 3 points clear of Liverpool. Honestly, though, it's about damn time, innit? But we don't win the Community Shield. Chelsea just nabbed it from us on pens. Still no FA Cup either, as the ball jobs knocked us out in round 5. And they beat us to win the Carabao Cup. Oh my god, season 3, despite us winning the Premier League's a massive L so far. And we only made the playoffs in the UCL, man. It's a good job we won the Prem, otherwise this season would be a flop. I don't get where we're going wrong though, man. Look at the state of the team, man. It's fantastic. I mean, the stats are phenomenal too. Martinelli with 28 and 15, Jesus with 28 and 7, and Garnacho with 24 and 9 for his debut for the Gunners. I think if we are to get somewhere in this takeover with the Gunners, we need that wheel to be on our side once again next year, because if it isn't, we're going to go backwards instead of forwards. So let's see what it brings us in season number 4. Okay. Oh, I think we got a free pass. Do what we want. It's about freaking time. But we only have 160 million to spend. Where on earth is that 300 million gone from last year, man? That's what we should have right now. I mean, I was going to bring Saka back, but Garnacho is here. I suppose he will do for now until we can afford to bring Saka back. But guys, Tottenham Hotspur are the biggest mugs on the planet. For some reason, they never renewed his contract. Bukayo Saka is a free agent. All we got to do is pay his wages, and the 112.5 million man is coming back home to Arsenal. And just like that, he's back in an Arsenal shirt for absolutely nothing. And we've still got all this money to spend. Okay, I'm a little happier now, I'll admit. But I have to admit, looking at the starting 11, I don't think I'm going to mess around with it anymore. I'm just going to bring a bit of depth to positions that need it. I mean, we do need a second choice striker for Jesus, maybe another midfielder, but apart from that, we're actually solid. But I want a striker who can take Jesus' place when the time comes, and I think Evan Ferguson is perfect. I mean, granted, he's not the best player right now, but he's only young and he's got a bag of potential. And for that reason, we've just signed him on a 5-year contract for only 38 million. But I did say I was after another CDM, and I think Papa Matar is perfect. I mean, granted, he did used to play for Spurs, but he's now playing for Palace. He's 24 and he's 84 rated too. And there we go, 50 million later, we've signed him on a 4-year deal too. And whilst we do have 52 mil left in our budget, I honestly think we don't need to spend it now. I mean, the quality in the starting team is phenomenal, and so is the bench now. We are absolutely set for season 4. And with our golden boy back at Arsenal, you better believe I'm expecting back-to-back Premier League titles at the very least. And that's exactly what we've got, guys. We are once again the best team in England, this time only by 1 point though. City are clawing their way back, guys, but for now at least we've got them handled. But we couldn't handle Newcastle as they beat us in the Community Shield. Still no FA Cup either, as Sunderland this time knock us out in round 4. And no Carabao Cup as Ipswich knock us out too. So far we are 1 for 4, guys. This isn't looking good. And we still can't win the Champions League as this time Sporting knock us out in the round of 16. I'm sorry, guys, how does this team not beat Sporting, man? I could understand a team like Barcelona or Real Real Madrid, but Sporting, are you joking? I mean, it's not like the front four aren't doing their job. Look at the stats, man. They definitely know how to score goals. And if we are to beat Spurs' 18 trophies, we got to start winning doubles and trebles every year from next season onwards. But this wheel is no doubt going to play a big part in our failure and our success. Bloody hell, transfer ban, yep, no signings yet. I got that from the transfer ban kid. Which means this 99 million is going down the drain. For God's sake, that wheel is not giving us a break, is it? At this point, I'm glad I brought Ferguson and Soren for that bit of depth, because right now we're going to need it. As the team remains unchanged going into season 5, guys. But remember, we need doubles or trebles from here on out if we are serious about beating Spurs on the leaderboard. And this is a great start. We are the Premier League champions for the 3rd season in a row. At this point, we've actually won the Premier League more than we've lost it, man. That's how good we've become. And we finally won the Community Shield. It's about freaking time, isn't it? But we're dropping almighty stinker in the FA Cup. Freaking Crew knock us out in round 3. And we get knocked out of the semis of the Carabao Cup by Everton. So far, though, we are 2 for 4. And it's unfortunately going to be 2 out of 5 as Juve knock us out of the UCL quarterfinals. Seriously, though, at what point are we actually going to win this? Because we're defo good enough. I mean, the team itself has only got 2 players under 90 overall, and we've definitely got good squad depth as well. And it's not like we aren't scoring goals for fun, because look at our front 4 stats, man. They're killing it. But we've officially arrived the halfway point in this takeover, and as you can see, we're 13 trophies behind Tottenham Hotspur. So if this Arsenal side want to top Spurs on that leaderboard, they need to start winning trophies for fun, because otherwise it's just not going to happen. So here we are, the second half of this takeover with Arsenal, season 6, and we've got 142 million to spend. And if we're allowed to spend it, guys, we've got to be smart with it, because as you can see, our team isn't so young anymore. Majority of our best players are in their early 30s or very close to it. Thankfully, we don't have to worry too much, because as you can see, our squad depth is quite literally top notch. But as we all know, once we spin that wheel, that could all change in a heartbeat. So without further ado, let's see what the takeover wheels got in store for us. Season ender. Freaking fantastic. Your best player in the squad up is injured for the entirety of the season. Give it a rest, will you? But this isn't as bad as I thought, you know. I thought Bukayo Saka was our highest rated player, but it's actually David Raya, who's 33 years old at 94 overall. But with him now being injured for this season, that gives us a phenomenal opportunity to use the money we've got to find his future replacement. And guys, believe me, I have found the perfect player for the job. Georgie Mamardashvili from Liverpool, 28, 88 overall. He'll legitimately last us till the end of this takeover and be one of the best keepers in the world. And as you can see, he is more than affordable. I told you guys, he's bang on the money. And there we go, 62.7 million. He's just signed for us on a 5-year deal. And I was going to spend this 75 million on more squad depth, but I've realised I don't actually need to. Ferguson's going to be Jesus' replacement. We've got Garnacho for Martinelli and Saka. We have Marino for Odegaard. And as you can see from the rest of the players now, we've got squad depth in every other position. That money can wait until next year to be spent. As this is the team going into season 6. And remember, guys, if we are to catch the bottle jobs, we need a minimum of 2 or 3 trophies won each and every season till the end of this takeover, just to keep up with them. But this ain't a good start, guys. We're second in the Premier League, and quite frankly, we were nowhere near City in the end. This is the one trophy I thought we had on lock as well. And we lose the Community Shield to Spurs on penalties again. Why can't our lot take penalties? But we finally won the FA Cup. That's trophy number 1 of season 6. But we don't make it the double as Brighton knock us out of the Carabao Cup again on penalties. Oh my god, we need to sign some penalty takers. And we crash out of the Champions League in the round of 16 after bottling a 3-1 lead. Arsenal, you lot are just crap, aren't you? I mean, even as good as you are now, you still can't get the job done in Europe, can you? I mean, our front 4 stats are once again brilliant, but it's just not enough anymore, is it? We do have a bit of good news though. Raya will be returning to us next year. He has gone down to 91 rated and will probably steadily go down from here on out. But this Arsenal team now need to win 12 trophies in the next 4 years just to match Spurs at this point. I thought this was going to be easy for them, but they've made it way more difficult than it should have been. But out of 4 options, guys, the wheel's got 3 good options. Okay, +3. Your entire starting team gets a +3, but you can't spend money. That's fantastic. I mean, this does mean we've got all this money that we can't spend. But after the +3 improvement, just look at this team, man. I swear to God, if this team does not win the Champions League this year, the game is rigged against us. I mean, look at our squad above, for goodness sake. So many of our players are now 90 overall. We've got to have one of the best teams in the world, if not the best now. I'm expecting this team to get at least the treble this year, because if this Arsenal team can't pull it off, no version of Arsenal will ever pull it off. But this is just what the doctor ordered. We are once again the Premier League champions, this time by 16 points. If this is a sign of things to come for Season 7, we're looking great. And so far so good, guys. We have won the Community Shield, and we've won the FA Cup. And we've won the Carabao Cup. Ladies and gents, we've got the quadruple already. And 4 could turn into 5 as we are second in the UCL League phase and we go through to the knockouts, where we beat Juve 5-4, we smashed Roma 3-1, we've beaten AC Milan 4-3. Guys, we've torn Italy apart in the knockouts. And we've destroyed Barca in the final. We're finally won Arsenal the UCL. But looking at these stats, I am not surprised, man. We have absolutely killed it in Season 7. But looking at the team, I'm really not surprised. Like I said at the beginning of this season, if this team couldn't pull it off, no version of this team would. And as you can see from the leaderboard, all we need now is 2 trebles and a double. And not only do we match Tottenham Hotspur, we go top of the leaderboard with Arsenal. But with only 3 seasons to go, will Arsenal be able to pull that off? Well, we're about to find out as we enter the final stretch of this takeover, as we've got 167 million to spend. You think after winning 5 trophies last year, we'd have a bit more than that though. But we'll need every penny of the budget we've got, guys, because as you can see from our squad up, all of our best players are almost in their early 30s now, and despite how good they are, at some point they're definitely going to go down in rating. And granted, we do have an insane squad depth on the bench. You can just never be too sure about this though, can you? Especially when we haven't spun the wheel, and oh my god, it's landed on the worst one. Bankrupt, you're broke. Sell 200 million worth of your players for the board to help them out. Are you joking? Just when we started getting momentum, man, this can throw a right spanner in the works. And guys, it's as I thought. We've got absolutely no money in our budget. We are quite literally bankrupt. But as you can see from our squad up, guys, we won't actually have an issue raising 200 million. It's just a nightmare because I don't want to sell anybody. But guys, I have indeed made my mind up. Garnacho is going to be sold, so is Kiwior and Papa Matar. I'm pretty sure these 3 altogether are worth around 200 million, but if I'm wrong, I'll just sell a couple more players to get that 200 mil. But to be fair, all it actually took was selling Papa Matar and Garnacho. He did go to Chelsea, which I didn't want, but it is what it is. All that matters is we've got over 200 million, which is exactly what the board wanted, and the starting team still looks this good, so you better believe I'm expecting at least another treble. And this is the way to kick the season off. Once again, the Premier League champions. But we don't win the Community Shield. Chelsea beat us on penalties. Not gonna lie, as a Chelsea fan, that does fill me with hope for the future. But we win the FA Cup again. We've won the Carabao Cup again. We've won the Super Cup. And we've won the Champions League, beating Frankfurt on pens. Ladies and gents, we've got 10 trophies in 2 seasons. This team is unstoppable, guys. It's actually quite scary how good this team is at this point. And as you can see, the stats are freaking out of this world, especially Jesus and Saka. Them pair are on a different planet to everybody else at the minute. And the best thing is, guys, this Arsenal team now only have to win 3 more trophies to not only match Tottenham Hotspur on the leaderboard, but beat them. And the scary thing is, there's only 2 things left on this wheel, and they're both good. 99 plus, though. Make a player of your choice 99 rated, but make no signings. Honestly, though, at this point, I don't think we need to make any more transfers. What we do need to do is figure out who we're going to make 99 overall, because there's a lot of good candidates. I mean, we could go for Bukayo Saka, but considering he's 97 rated right now, it seems like a bit of a waste. Calafiori is an option, because when you think about it, at the start of this takeover, I was going to replace him, but look at him now, 95 overall. But guys, I've thought about it, and considering Martin Odegaard's not got a decent backup, I'm making Ethan Nwaneri our 99 rated player. I mean, he's mid-20s, so he'll last till the end of this takeover. Plus, I think a lot of Arsenal fans really like this guy, and he hasn't had a chance in this takeover for obvious reasons, so I'm going to give him his chance right now. As there he is, ladies and gents, officially 99 rated. And with him in the team now, ladies and gents, I'm calling it right now. Tottenham Hotspur are cooked on that leaderboard. And I think I'm right, guys, because not only have we won the Premier League with Arsenal, we went invincible and hit 100 100 points. That is absolutely mental. 27 points separated ourselves from second place Chelsea. It's just night and day, isn't it? We've also won the Community Shield, which means we need just one more trophy to top the leaderboard. And we've done it. We've won the FA Cup. Wolves got beat by us 2-0. We go top of the leaderboard. With a season to go as well, man. This could get embarrassing for the bottle jobs in United. No Carabao Cup this time, though, guys, as West Ham knock us out in the semis. We don't win the Super Cup either. And we don't win the UCL this time, too. We still got the treble, though. And as you can imagine, the stats are once again insane. I'd actually argue these are our best stats yet. But we do only have one more season left with this Arsenal side, guys. The question is now, how many more trophies can we actually win with them? Well, as the 10th and final season dawns on us, we're about to find out as we land on the last thing on the wheel, the chosen ones. Arsenal have been chosen to have new billionaire owners. They've given you an extra 100 million to spend this year. At this point, I don't even think we need it, but I'll definitely take it. Because we've now got 241 million to spend on an already insane Arsenal side. And despite half of this Arsenal side being close to retirement, I don't really want to mess with it because at the end of the day, these guys are still winning trophies for fun. But as we look to the bench, we could do with a winger or two, maybe a backup CDM, and certainly a backup keeper because Andre Onana's 37 years old and so is David Raya. But considering our budget's increased by 100 mil by our new owners, I don't think sorting this problem out's going to be an issue. And I was right, guys, as we sorted our keeper problem out with no problem, as I've just spent 62 million on Peter Bosz. I'm guessing he's Gregor Kobal's regen, but he's a fantastic keeper and he'll definitely do the job for this one last season. I've also just spent another 60 million on Hassan Diawdiou. I'm almost positive I've just butchered his name, but he's a fantastic player and still only 27 years old at this point in career mode. And finally, to wrap up our window, I'm signing Alexander Pavlovic for that CDM role. As you can see, he's a fantastically well-rounded midfielder and not even 30 years old yet. And for £65 million on the dot, he is now officially an Arsenal player. And looking at our depth now, guys, it's fair to say I'm pretty damn happy with it. As this is the team entering the final year of this takeover, a team that, may I add, is already top of the leaderboard. I'm just wondering by how many trophies they're going to win it by at this point, because this team has definitely got it in them to get a quadruple this year. And this is exactly what I mean, guys. We're once again the Premier League champions, missing out on not only 100 points, but the invincible season by one freaking game. We've also won the Community Shield again. No FA Cup this time, though, as we crashed out straight away to Stoke City. But we have won the Carabao Cup. And we might get the quadruple after all, as we are second in the league phase. But Real Madrid beat us in the semis on penalties. I mean, fair enough. It was about time someone else won this competition, wasn't it? But I've got to say, 10 seasons in, these stats are amazing. Especially Jesus at 37 years old. He got 49 goal contributions. You know how mad that is? And this is the team we end this takeover with. And good luck for the last team in this series to try and beat these guys on the leaderboard. Because honestly, I don't think it's possible. As we end this takeover with Jesus being our top scorer, Saka being our top assister, and we won 22 trophies in total with the Gunners, which as you can see from the leaderboard means they go top of it by 4 trophies. A very tough number to beat, but will next week's team be able to top that? You'll have to find out next Friday, as that's where we're wrapping this takeover series up. But if you have enjoyed this takeover and want to see more content like this, be sure to leave this vid a big old thumbs up and smash that subscribe button if you're new. And if you want to watch more of my videos right now, YouTube recommends you watch this.